Greetings, my name is Jack Torres Leandro, and I'm going to share with you the analysis of the case Scharffen Berger chocolate maker. Hope you enjoy it. We have our path analysis. First, we're going to talk about the company facts. In a second moment, we're going to talk about the competitive facts. After that, we're going to talk about the production overview, then the challenges, the main problems, the general solutions in the short term and long term. Let's start with the company facts. Scharffen Berger is a premium brand chocolate founded in 1996, and its main objective was to produce premium chocolate of the highest quality from the best cocoa beans available. During the time of the operations, it was a fast-growing company, and they started noticing higher demand rates than their production capacity, forcing them to decide when and where they have to add more resources in their production line and what technology needed to be implemented to speed their process. In 1997, after tasting a lot of beans and flavors, they started operations by producing small batches of chocolate in a rented space in the San Francisco area. By the 2000, they expanded the business. A 27 square foot brick warehouse in Berkeley, allowing them to host tours where people can smell, feel, and learn from the chocolate process. And also a cafe area become part of their marketing strategy. In May 2005, the company had 60 employees, 24 in the production areas, 18 at 5 retail stores, and another 18 people in management and administrative functions. Now let's talk about the competitive facts. Specifically, we are going to talk about the industry and the business. Scharffen Berger was one of the few that manufactured their products from beans to bar, meaning they own the whole process, while the competition had limits on their production and depended on third parties for the finished product. The chocolate industry was segmented in two categories: mass market and premium. Scharffen Berger competed in the $1.2 billion premium segment, a large part of which was dark chocolate. We're going to talk about later on the benefits of this type of chocolate. The premium segment was considered a growth segment of the industry, with rates between 15 and 20% annual growth projected between 2000 and 2010. The trends that influenced this growth were the health benefits, such as high levels of antioxidants, and increased appreciation of tastier chocolate, and also the retail availability. Scharffen Berger sales grew up from 1.1 million to $10 million in 2004, and they expected revenues for 2005 around $15 million. Berger offered its primary chocolate products in 4 consumer sizes. And also, they were sold through 5 retail stores. And listen to this number, 4,000 outlets distributed mainly in urban and upscale areas. Now we're going to continue explaining the production overview. The company's facility considered 3 main sections. The production area, 20,000 square feet. The office space, 5,000 square feet. And the retail area, 2,000 square feet. The production area with 7 primary functions before the introduction of the ball mill. First, it was the bean cleaner. Second, the rooster. In a third moment, the winnower. Then the Melangeur. 5 and 6, they have the conche machines, then the tempering machine, and finally the molding machine. Also, they were functions that be needed to take place in order to have the chocolate finished. Let's start with the bean cleaner. The beans arrived in 100 kilogram burlap bags from around the world. For example, as countries with Jamaica, Dominican Republic, Trinidad and Tobago, Ghana, for example. Also, the company blended up to 9 varieties of beans to make each type of chocolate. A bean cleaner could process around 200 kilograms at a time, which took 15 minutes to perform its function, recovering 96 kilograms of clean beans from a 100 kilogram bag, operating 8 hours, 7 days a week. Then we have the rooster. Listen to this. A 50-year-old machine roasted the cacao beans before they could make the chocolate. The company roasted each kind of bean to optimize the flavor. An operator monitored the temperature and roasting time and tested its sample beans. What a job. Harry's statement, one of the founders: we believe that artisan production methods, including the practice of tasting, are the best method of measurement at each stage. The machine roasted 250 kilograms at a time, approximately an hour and 25 minutes. Then the process continues with the winnower. The task of the winnower was to crack each cacao bean to separate the chocolate nib located at the center from the shell. The nibs go to the production while the shells are discarded or used for animal feed. This type of machine was capable of processing 450 kilograms of whole beans per hour. Each batch of 250 kilograms, and the machine or the process can recover 185 kilograms of nibs. Then the Melangeur. The Melangeur is a word in French that means mixer. It was used to grind the nibs. This activity released the cocoa butter and turned the dry nibs into a chocolate paste. Melangeur ground nips in 115 kilogram batches, and each one stay in the machine for approximately 1 hour and 25 minutes. Used machine that was built in Dresden, in Germany, in the 1920s. Imagine that old machine with this capability. It was fantastic for the process. Then we're going to continue with the Conche 1 and Conche 2. The next step was to refine the chocolate paste in the two refining machines that the company had. In this process, other ingredients were incorporated, such as vanilla, sugar, and lecithin, depending on the product to be manufactured. Each machine could hold an approx of 1,400 kilogram batch of a single recipe. And each batch spent between 40 to 60 hours in the conche. Then we're going to talk about the tempering and the molding. In the tempering process, the liquid chocolate turned into a solid state with a desired level of stability, glossy surface, smooth feeling in the mouth, and snap, meaning the sound of chocolate when it was broken. The machine could process up to 200 kilograms per hour, operated 8 hours, 7 days per week. The tempered chocolate traveled directly from the tempering machine into the molding machine, where it was plumped into plastic molds. Molds were manually inverted, and the solidified chocolate traveled down a plastic conveyor belt, landing in a box that the chocolate could be ready for packaging. And then we're going to talk finally about the packaging and the quality control. In the first one, specifically in May 2005, 35% of the molded product was packed in its factory. 65% product was either sent to the company for distribution or shipped directly to the distributor or customer. There was the figure of the co-packers needed to remelt and retemper the chocolate before packaging it, which required additional quality control. The company kept 1 to 2 months of inventory in stock for each premium product. The quality control. Operators measure the quality of the chocolate by examining its look and texture, breaking and tasting it. Founder believed skilled operators were better at judging quality than any form of mechanical measurement. In other words, they didn't want anything with technology. Challenges. The ball mill cost of $300,000. The ball mill only focused in grinding, while Conche 1 or Conche 2 in airing and grinding. The ball mill will increase the production capacity in at least 75%. The Melangeur could become a bottleneck, so they need to purchase and renew a machine by $50,000. Due to the expensive cost in the molding machine, several third-party co-packers will be able to mold chocolate. 3 main problems that were identified. How much demand can the company accept and how to fulfill it with installed and projected capacity? The duplication of the tempering and molding steps, since they were carried out in the factory with external packers. And third, the lack of the master plan production. Short-term solutions. The company should follow a business process reengineering to overcome the threats and respond fully to the changing environment. Then the company can sell additional assets or process to relax the cost structure. The company should install a ball windmill ball mill, excuse me, to decrease the production processing hours, but also should purchase one more Melangeur to avoid the bottleneck that was identified in addition of the ball mill, so they can increase the production in 100%. The company, as I see the case, should not outsource until it defines its new strategy to safeguard the quality of the product due to the risk to exposure to inadequate controls. And what about the long term? Well, first of all, it needs to define the new strategy, considering the expected revenues in an horizon to a start of 3 years. Reorganize the production capacity based on what customers want, coupled with market research to support the decisions, master the capacity plan, and the Scharffen Berger strategy. In this point, it's very important that the master capacity plan is very accurate for the decision making in the short and long term. Take advantage also of the use of emerging technologies, as for example, blockchain in smart contracts in the case of distributors and co-packers. And two more orientations: use of the IoT technology as a strategic asset in the different machines of the production process to generate data from each step and thereby increase reliability in decision-making based on real-time information. Specifically for acquiring more modern equipment with greater capacity, it was one of the challenges and one of the decisions that the CEOs were very interested, and also to prevent to detract the quality of the products. As the product has such a good market acceptance, evaluate alternatives for penetrating emerging international markets. Well, this is a fast review of the case. Hope you enjoy it, and thank you for your attention. Bye-bye.